Hi, my name is Ignacio Hwang, and I'm recording this from good old Boston in the COVID pandemic here under lockdown and enjoying all my watches. But I wanted to share the story of this watch. It is a Universal Geneve gold 18 karat, and the story begins in the early 70s, 1971, when King Faisal visited Taiwan. My dad used to work for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs representing Taiwan, and King Faisal from Saudi Arabia brought 10 of these gold watches to Taiwan. Five of them were full gold, including the bracelet, and five of them had the leather strap. And my dad was lucky enough to be given one of these watches. Um, After that, my dad was assigned in the early 70s to go represent Taiwan in Costa Rica, and he was based there for 13 years. I grew up in Costa Rica, and I remember my dad wearing this watch every day, and it was the watch that I always wanted. As a kid, I loved automatic watches. I was always amazed and really mesmerized by watches in general. And my friends and I, we always talked about them. They used to own Seikos, automatics. We used to talk about the jewel counts, the fact that they were water resistant or waterproof. And stupid me as a kid, at 7 year old kid, I used to kind of take my dad's watch, and this specific one never said whether it was waterproof or not, but I remember as a kid dunking this watch in the water to see if it was actually waterproof. Um, it was not, and in fact, the watch, broke back then, and he stopped working. My dad in Costa Rica, there were not many watch repairmen back then, and my dad was always trying to repair it. But after that, he was kind of put away. I never saw it again. My dad was assigned to different countries through Chile, Guatemala, Argentina. He made the last stint in Spain, and I believe over the course of all those assignments, this watch kind of went with them somehow, in a case, because I always asked my dad where this watch was, and he was never able to locate it. So I basically assumed that he was essentially gone. Um, in 2010, he retired, and my dad and my mom moved back to Taiwan. And after 40 years, I never went back to Taiwan to visit because my parents were out of the country, and this was a very good opportunity for me to go back and visit my home country. I mean, I was born there, but left very early, and that was back in 2012. As I was sitting down with my dad, my dad kind of sat down and he pulled out a little envelope, and here comes out this watch. And again, he showed it to me. It was not working, and it actually had watermark stains around the crown. Uh, as I mentioned, this is a Universal Geneve watch, 18 karat, with the Saudi Arabia coat of arms on it. Um, my dad gave it to me, and I told him, I'll repair it for you. I'll actually take it back to the States. I'll fix it and I'll give it back. Um, And when I came back to Boston, locally here, there's a very good watchmaker, which kind of took the watch and he took it apart. This is a watchmaker, very reputable, and it took him 1 year to find a very specific part for this watch to repair it. But after waiting for a year, I was able to get it back. And as the next trip going back to Taiwan, I tried to give it back to my dad. My dad said, you know, don't worry, you keep it. And ever since I've had it, and I've worn it with pride on very special occasions. So this is a story of this watch. Thanks for listening.